Hi everyone, John here. Just wanted to do like a COVID-19 update. I mean, we've had a bit of success now here in Melbourne, which is really good. It's taken 6 months though, so it's been such a long time. As everyone knows that's been watching my videos, that we've been in lockdown since March. Well, we had a first wave, and then of course we had a second wave. So that the second wave ended up just going on forever. And if everyone remembers, we didn't have things that were cases that were linked to clusters. It was in the community, and we didn't know that it was in the community. So that just caused a horrific problem for Melbourne in Victoria. Around the rest of Australia, of course, for people that haven't been listening to my channel or haven't heard my videos on COVID-19, a lot of the other states had some problems as well, but a lot of theirs was linked to clusters, and so they could sort of tidy that up, and they didn't have a problem after that. So that was, they could eradicate that as soon as possible, which was really good. But of course in Melbourne that wasn't the case. So we had a lot of people, which you might have known in the past when I spoke about the Prime Minister and our Federal Finance Minister and all the rest, who I wasn't happy with, who is a Victorian, comes from Melbourne, lives in Melbourne, but because his portfolio is the Federal Finance Minister, and I think I told everyone that Melbourne contributes like 25% of the money towards running this country, then his efforts was to, just make it difficult in the words that he used to say to the media. Didn't help anyone in Victoria, which I've told before, so we won't talk about that. But I'm really glad all that's over now. But he seems to be happy, and the Prime Minister seems to be happy. But for us here in Victorians, the borders are open as far as the countries are concerned. Like, I mean country Victoria, not actually the whole country. I think the borders will open to Victoria. I think Adelaide, maybe Sydney, Queensland in December. We're not too sure about Western Australia yet, but they seem to have their own agenda. They seem to be doing whatever they want. So, but we're not really worried about them. We're worried about everyone here in Victoria, and I just wanted to say that I'm just so happy that we've had, I think today is 16 days straight with 0 new cases. Can't believe I'm saying that, but 0 new cases and 0 deaths. So I mean, that's just amazing. So what I want to say is that I just really want to congratulate our Premier, Daniel Andrews. A lot of people, I think it's been 50-50 with the people that like him and people that don't, but I think his approval rating, I think, was like 70 or 80%, but of course with COVID-19, nobody liked the lockdown. It was difficult for everybody. People lost jobs. The economy was like almost non-existent. It was just a really hard time for everybody. So look, yeah, I'm really proud of what he's done. He fronted the media, I think, for like 120 days straight. He copped all the criticisms from people, but I think he, personally myself, I know there's maybe some people listening don't agree with me, but I think he did a wonderful job, and I don't think there was any other way to do it. Nobody likes to have a lockdown, and a lot of people were saying that, some professional people were saying that, maybe we could have had a different system in place where businesses could have opened sooner and all the rest. But look, we could have done all those things, and it may have worked, may not have worked. I mean, maybe you still get people that do the wrong thing. They wanted to have like QR codes in all businesses and all the rest, so they could have like a better tracking system. So people on the radio and people in the media, television and all the rest, they have to report their jobs, but I think they had like a personal sort of vendetta against our Premier. I'm glad to say that I didn't, and I'm glad to say that he's come out on top, and all of us Victorians have come out on top. yes, it's been really, really hard. Look, you'll always get people that do the wrong things, even if you have QR tracing. I think so. Like the professionals have been saying in the medical fields, that you can have QR tracing and all the rest, and maybe open up businesses, but you just need a few people in the community that go unseen, that are doing the wrong thing, and not worried whether they're wearing masks or whether they're doing social distancing or whether there's QR coding or something like that going on. And they could have the virus and they could spread it, and they're not too worried about it. So, and then it's in the community. We would think that we're all doing the right thing again. Like we thought last time when we got down to about 6 or 7 cases a day, and we thought it was going to disappear, but a third wave happened because it was in the community, because some people weren't doing the right thing. I think back then, some people that were meant to get tested, I think, they were meant to go home for like 3 days or something and wait for their results, and they didn't. They went to work, so they would end up closing down the businesses where they worked, as well as then they would go down to the shops. They just lived their normal life, and they were spreading the virus. Maybe they didn't know that they had it at the time. Maybe there was no bad intentions on the behalf of everybody, but there are some people out there that don't really care about others. There's some people that didn't know that they had it and all the rest. So that's what's happened back then. So I mean, that could have happened now. So yeah, with the QR coding, I don't think that it's not foolproof. It's not 100%. I don't think anything's 100%. We could have been seen on the media, well, you know, there's some people that have done the wrong thing. We've got QR coding going on. They could report that everyone's doing the right thing. Shop owners and restaurants and all the rest, they're open, they're doing the right thing, but there are some people out there that have done the wrong thing that spread the virus. I mean, it could have just happened as simple as that. So I give full marks to Daniel Andrews. He decided to go down the path of a lockdown, which nobody liked, and everyone's got to remember as well that this lockdown, like Daniel Andrews is the Premier and he's the announcer, he's the speaker. So he's only announcing and speaking on behalf of what advice he's getting from medical people. And the other states in Victoria may have done the same thing. When Sydney had the Ruby Princess debacle, well, there was like thousands of people that were let out into the community, but that was a cluster that they all knew about, which I've spoken about in my past videos. But they were very, very lucky. But if they had got all the names and numbers and all the rest of all the people, which they did, and they isolated them, and then they got rid of that cluster, then okay. That would be fine. But then later on, if the 2 weeks of quarantine for everyone had finished, but then they found out that they started to get more in the community, wasn't linked to clusters, then I think they would have had a lockdown exactly the same as Victoria. So although we've got these criticisms from everybody, I'm still quite proud of all Victorians, especially people from Melbourne, because that's where the virus was hit the hardest, and all the country Victorian people as well, because a lot of these country Victorians, they may have some jobs in there, but there's a lot of tourism that goes on, and that's where they make their money, and they weren't allowed to make their money, and it wasn't their fault, and people travelled around and spread the virus, and some people didn't do it on purpose, but some people didn't care. So yeah, it was a really hard time for the people in country Victoria. So they're open up now, and in Melbourne we're open up, and as far as that's concerned, we can travel, and people can spend money in these country towns and everything, can make it a bit easier for people. And people themselves in Melbourne can get out and live, you know, some sort of normal life, you know. Not all the restrictions have finished. A lot of the restrictions are still in place, but they've been extended. So You can travel around, and you can go to restaurants and things like that. I think you can go to gyms now and all that sort of stuff. Most people can go out and work now and things like that. So it's going to take a long time to build, but I'm really happy that's the case. And I've heard overseas as well, which is pretty sad, that I think over in England, I've said before that they were going to go into a lockdown. Well, I'm pretty sure that they're going into a second lockdown as well, and it's getting quite serious. And I think it's like in America, it's nearly 100,000 cases a day or something. And Spain is in lockdown again. And of course, Italy didn't think that was going to happen, and then they started. Of course, they have, like a lot of al frescoes and all the rest, you know, in their dining and all the rest, outdoor dining and all that, and they've had to go and take all their chairs and all the rest inside again, and just shut up shop. And I know when I've seen that on television in the news for a lot of these countries around the world, that when they're going to go into lockdown, it may not be for a long time. I'll just let you know out there that it's going to be difficult. There's no two other ways to say it. It's everyone just stay strong out there and stay safe. I mean, it's a lot of people, I think, that maybe are making videos about this, are saying that, you know, just stay safe and stay strong and everything like that. But it might be some sort of cliche, but you know, I've already lived through it. So as most other Melburnians here in Victoria have in Australia. So it is hard. I hope that if you are in lockdown, that it's not going to be for a long time. We've found here that to keep your social distance, to wear your masks, it works. When you had to just, if you're able to go to work, if your work is like an essential work that you do, and then you go back home again, you only go to the shops, keep your social distancing, wash your hands, sanitize your hands and all the rest, wear your masks, it works. So look, I just want to say again that I'm very proud, and I'm let everyone know, as you can see, that I get a haircut all the time now. I've even got one of those little lines in there, like the young boys have. I'm not one of the young boys anymore, but I'm not old, but I'm still very young. So I put one of those in just to make myself look a little bit younger. I don't know if it does, but I tried it anyway. So, but yeah, I will say everyone stay strong. It will work, and it's November now, so I think they've told us that we may have a vaccine. There's one that's going well in Germany, there's one that's going well in England, and Australia is also not far away from their own vaccine as well. So I think they told us we need 2 doses if we're gonna take it. I think most of them now have mild side effects, so I'll certainly go and do that, and then hopefully when I'm free I can go and see my girlfriend over in Thailand, because we're actually meant to get married. So I hope that happens very soon. So if you're listening, my girlfriend over there in Thailand, hopefully I'll come and visit soon. Alright everyone, take care, and thank you for listening to my channel, and please subscribe.